Moon Dong-eun, who dreamed of becoming an architect since childhood, was forced to abandon her dreams and drop out of school because of the brutal bullying she suffered at the hands of a gang of rich girls in high school. The ringleader of the bullying gang, Park Hyun-jin, came from a privileged background. She bullied Moon Dong-eun without reason, simply finding it amusing. She even went so far as to press a hot hair straightener directly onto Moon Dong-eun's arm. But this cruel act was simply swept under the rug by the school because her family was wealthy. The school settled it privately. The bullies faced no punishment. Unable to bear it any longer, Moon Dong-eun chose to drop out of school. So she wrote the names of all the bullies on her withdrawal application. But this act was met with a barrage of slaps from her homeroom teacher. Desperate, Moon Dong-eun went to the rooftop. She took off all her clothes, lying on the cold snow. She touched the burn scars all over her body with her hands. In pain and despair, she wept, accusing her fate. She would have revenge. From this moment on, she would live for Park Hyun-jin, to see her die in agony. And in that moment, I resolved to live strongly. 20 years have passed. Park Hyun-jin, the ringleader who bullied me, is now married. As an adult, she shows no sign of being affected by what happened back then. She not only married a wealthy, well-known chaebol heir, but also became a weather anchor. However, her arrogant and vicious personality hasn't changed one bit. In her world, there's nothing money can't solve. But on the other hand, Moon Dong-eun has suffered hardships for the past 20 years. She's been working in a dark and dismal factory. But all these years, she never gave up studying. Through her own efforts, she successfully got into university. After graduating from university, she became a tenured teacher. And she did all this only for revenge. The elementary school where she works is the school where Park Hyun-jin's daughter, her bully, attends. And Moon Dong-eun's goal is to use what is most precious to a woman, her child, as her weapon. Do you think my story sounds like a fairy tale? Yes, but my mother isn't the main character, so it'll be a little. Why do you think she's not the main character? Because my mother is very rich. And main characters are usually poor. No, you're wrong. The main character in this story is your mother. Because this story isn't a fairy tale. It's an allegory. An eye for an eye. A tooth for a tooth. An injury for an injury. A blow for a blow. This woman's greatest dream was to become a virtuous wife and mother. But at this moment, she had long since cast that dream aside. She was playing mahjong with her husband's friend, and her actions were discovered by Moon Dong-eun, a former classmate who had bullied her. It turned out that even her daughter wasn't her husband's biological child. She had an affair with her husband's friend, John Jae-jun, and the child was his. John Jae-jun was colorblind from birth, and coincidentally, her daughter inherited this gene. This was also discovered by Moon Dong-eun, who had been secretly investigating. Moon Dong-eun learned about this. She found Sun Myung-oh, a classmate who bullied her. She wanted to use him, because although Sun Myung-oh wasn't wealthy, he worked as an errand boy for the chaebol John Jae-jun. He toiled endlessly but received little respect. Naturally, he had accumulated a great deal of resentment. Moon Dong-eun told him her revenge plan, hoping to entice him to join, and promised him a substantial reward afterward. Soon, Sun Myung-oh did as Moon Dong-eun instructed, retrieving several strands of hair from John Jae-jun's trash can. This would be used for a paternity test. This would give them leverage against Park Hyun-jin. While plotting against Park Hyun-jin, Moon Dong-eun couldn't forget the slap she received from her homeroom teacher back then. She remembered being bullied by the chaebols back then. Not only did the homeroom teacher not stop them, but instead escalated the situation and joined them in bullying me. That day, Moon Dong-eun first bought a bouquet of flowers, then went to her former homeroom teacher's house, and told her that she was Moon Dong-eun. I am Moon Dong-eun, who voluntarily withdrew from school in 2004. Don't you remember me? Hearing the woman's introduction, the man was stunned. At that moment, the man's son returned. Moon Dong-eun enthusiastically called him senior. It turned out she had secretly approached the homeroom teacher's son beforehand. It was all for this moment. In front of the homeroom teacher, she personally revealed their relationship. Meanwhile, Park Hyun-jin received an invitation from her high school, wanting to present her with an award. She took the opportunity to invite her former clique to attend. They gathered together in the old gymnasium, which was also their secret base where they used to bully classmates. But what they didn't expect was that Moon Dong-eun, whom they had bullied, approached them. Several people looked at her with great curiosity. They asked in a taunting tone, "You didn't even graduate from here. Why are you still here?" But Moon Dong-eun didn't care at all. She said she often came here to look around. She was very happy to see so many familiar faces today. And she proactively asked Park Hyun-jin how she was doing. Her uninvited arrival made Park Hyun-jin very uncomfortable, and from this moment on the war between them would officially begin. From today on, every day will be terrifying, cruel, and agonizing. Unstoppable, inescapable. Because I will become a rumor that will haunt you for a long time. Hyun-jin. Go, Park Hyun-jin. You're amazing. Well done, Hyun-jin. She frantically questioned the woman's intentions. Fortunately, the man beside her stopped her in time. Be more understanding. Hyun-jin is still like a child. She can't control her emotions. Moon Dong-eun said she envied their friendship. You were black and white in high school, but now you seem so colorful. Anyway, I'm very happy to see you both today. Haven't you seen a colorful world before? This statement immediately stunned the two of them. Then Jeonjun called his follower, Minwoo, and told him to investigate Moon Dong-eun. But what men don't know is, Myung-woo had already formed a gang with Moon Dong-eun for money. The bullying group, since seeing Moon Dong-eun a few days ago, seeing her confident look, believed that Moon Dong-eun's reappearance must have a purpose. Meanwhile, Hyun-jin received a call from her daughter. Her daughter said she had a new homeroom teacher. A new teacher? Teacher Moon Dong-eun. It turns out Moon Dong-eun secretly investigated and obtained evidence of the elementary school principal's affair, using it to blackmail her way into becoming the homeroom teacher of Hyun-jin's daughter's class. And the first thing she did in class was to announce 3 new classroom rules. No showing off by wearing better clothes or driving better cars. Just because you live in a better house, you bully other students? Moon Dong-eun became her daughter's homeroom teacher. This made Hyun-jin uneasy. She raced to the school at 200 miles per hour. She barged in and demanded to know if every step was planned. You were just waiting for me to fall into your trap, right? Moon Dong-eun answered frankly. I got here on my own. No step was a coincidence. My journey here has been filled with pain and struggle. But seeing you like this today, I find it quite interesting. But how can these verbal threats intimidate the arrogant Hyun-jin? Then you should have died back then. Wouldn't that have been too easy for you? Alright, come and try. Just as she was about to leave the classroom, she suddenly learned that her high school homeroom teacher had passed away, and Moon Dong-eun had visited him just a few days earlier. This made Hyun-jin suspect that Moon Dong-eun was responsible. It turned out that day, the homeroom teacher's son learned that his father was one of those behind forcing Moon Dong-eun to leave school. If my own father's past bullying is revealed, then I, as his immediate family, will inevitably be affected. Then all the hard work I put into passing the exam to become a civil servant will be wasted. To silence Moon Dong-eun, even knowing my father's severe allergy to lilies, in cases of severe allergies, she filled the house with 1,000 fresh lilies. This way, she literally killed her own biological father. Afterward, she faked crying as if her life was over. Next, Moon Dong-eun met with the school doctor from her high school years. Whenever she was hurt, the teacher would always be the first to care about her. And the purpose of their meeting this time. I'm just grateful that the teacher sent me Soo-hee's photo. Soo-hee was also a student bullied by a powerful chaebol group back then. She was so young, and she didn't survive. She passed away. Although the police ruled her death a suicide, Moon Dong-eun clearly saw that day the girl was murdered. Then Moon Dong-eun found Myung-woo. I obtained from her the supply invoice for the illegal transactions of Lee Sarah's small group, as well as background information on the man Choi Hyun was trying to manipulate. In return, she told me to go to the Seoul hospital morgue if I wanted to make money. Arriving at the hospital, he was shocked to discover that it was the girl they had bullied back then. So-hee's body. The man who discovered this secret was overjoyed. Meanwhile, Hyun-jin was anxiously waiting for her daughter to come home from school. Hearing a sound, the woman rushed over to check on her, asking if the teacher had bullied her, or if she had pressed something hot against her. But her daughter's reply was unexpected. Why would you press something hot against someone else? That's terrible. That's what she deserves. It also made the woman lose her balance instantly. She was terrified that Moon Dong-eun would use what she had done to her all those years ago to punish her beloved daughter. But what she didn't know was that her husband had already been exchanging glances with Moon Dong-eun at the mahjong parlor. After several meetings, the man developed a unique feeling for Moon Dong-eun. He even proactively offered his business card. The man said he hoped they could meet more often in the future. But Moon Dong-eun, faced with the man's advances, deliberately didn't agree. This made the man find her even more charming. But what the man didn't know was that his actions. Someone secretly took a picture of her. Meanwhile, Mansu, who has been helping Moon Dong-eun, has been working hard to gather evidence for her. And Moon Dong-eun treats her like a sister. Mansu shows her the photos she took earlier. She tells her that the woman in the photo is Park Yeon-jin's mother, secretly meeting with a man, a shaman, frequently. And that man is a police officer. Speaking of which, Moon Dong-eun told her to be careful, because men are very good at counter-surveillance. Seeing Moon Dong-eun's concern for her, Mansu couldn't help but want to record it. But unexpectedly, this action caused Moon Dong-eun to be plunged into bad memories again, making her tremble uncontrollably and break out in a cold sweat. Unable to rest easy about her daughter, Yeon-jin went to see the principal. She hoped to get Moon Dong-eun transferred, but the principal said she was personally recommended by the chairperson, and that he was powerless to do anything. In class, Yeon-jin's daughter got into an argument with a classmate over crayons. Moon Dong-eun intervened, but then she suddenly noticed Yeon-jin peeking in from the doorway, intentionally pointing the scissors at her daughter, trying to intimidate Yeon-jin. The woman was indeed frightened by this. She went to find Moon Dong-eun after school, offering a large sum of money if Moon Dong-eun agreed to resign, and promising never to appear in her life again. She promised she would never appear before her again. Wasn't it to see me? Something like sincerely apologizing to you. We're both almost 40. Moon Dong-eun's approach is a bit too fairy tale-like, isn't it? They're all old grievances. What can I even do now? But Moon Dong-eun said she spent most of her life not to see me apologize. I want you to be punished and go to hell. And to tell Yeon-jin that I already know her daughter is colorblind. This scared Yeon-jin half to death, because her husband wasn't colorblind, and her daughter was John Jae-joon's. How did you know? I won't do anything to Yeril. I have many other options besides her. For example, a parent-teacher conference. But a parent-teacher conference. You also know I can't only talk to mothers. Returning home, Yeon-jin immediately found her husband. She proposed sending their daughter abroad to study, but her husband rejected her proposal. He said their daughter was too young to go abroad. Seeing her husband's refusal, she then said she wanted to see the chairman. But this made the man even more suspicious. On the other side, Mansu took advantage of Choi Hyun's inattention, and secretly switched her phone. He then gave the phone and password to Moon Dong-eun. Sarah, praying in the church, looked up and found Moon Dong-eun sitting opposite her, staring intently. Afterward, she planned to further humiliate Moon Dong-eun, just like when I was a child. But Moon Dong-eun wasn't the least bit afraid. She even directly stated the type of marijuana she used, and threw a black package at her, ordering her to fill it with cash within half a month, and specifying US dollars. You're blackmailing, you bitch. It seems you've never been blackmailed. Then Moon Dong-eun contacted her via text message. She has been secretly in love with her colleague, Yu Jong. He is currently a doctor at Seoul Hospital. She wants to learn about a certain drug through him. The man was overjoyed to receive the text message. Seeing the message from his crush, he requested a meeting to discuss it in detail. Soon, they met in the garden. I'll only say this once, so listen carefully. Cialis is a drug whose main ingredient is tadalafil. The effects last a long time. So it'll be alright. There are similar products, like Viagra, so this drug is a treatment for erectile dysfunction. A miracle drug. You're telling Moon Dong-eun she'd be better off with someone who doesn't need medication. There's a ready-made one right here, right in front of you. Moon Dong-eun said the medicine is just an excuse. I really just wanted to ask you out to meet. It's to apologize for my previous rudeness toward you. Although I really don't understand why you're doing this. But you can do whatever you want. And also, let's date. I will make you happy. What are you laughing at? I may have felt happy just now. I don't need a prince. What I need isn't a prince, but someone who can dance the sword dance with me. This man is about to die, but he's still leisurely choosing his clothes. I fantasized about going to Paris for a trip after I made some money. It turned out that he learned from Moon Dong-eun that someone in the former bullying group had killed a classmate. The classmate's name was Yoon So-hee. She was also a victim of their bullying and abuse back then. It wasn't suicide, but one of them faked it. Moon Dong-eun told him he could use this to get money from them. But what the man didn't know was, Moon Dong-eun had foreseen his early demise. Sure enough, the man died within minutes. Meanwhile, Yeon-jin, as Moon Dong-eun's revenge plan against the group unfolded, she finally realized that this woman was no longer the defenseless lamb she once was. Even Yeon-jin, who had refused to believe it, came. The place where her mother often prayed. Her mother also saw her suffering. She wanted to help her. But Yeon-jin didn't dare provoke Moon Dong-eun anymore. She was afraid she would do something to her precious daughter. Meanwhile, on the other side, the accomplice, Man-soo, found Sun Myung-oh missing. He kept asking if this had anything to do with Moon Dong-eun. But this clearly crosses the line. The agreement between you and me is simple. You do what I entrust to you. And I do what you entrust to me. That's all. We are now getting too close. Even if we seek a witch for an exorcism. Yeon-jin still wasn't reassured about Moon Dong-eun. She repeatedly checked the back end. She was afraid that Moon Dong-eun would post about her past school bullying on the company forum. While she worried, she overheard her colleagues gossiping about her behind her back. They said she only became a broadcaster because of her husband. Even her weather reports were ghostwritten. Yeon-jin heard every word clearly. Already in a bad mood, she became extremely furious. She approached the woman. She told her that the company only paid her 2 million won a month, while her husband spent at least 200 million on the radio station. How much longer can you stay young? Will you still be young next year? The year after? Don't push it. Even if you use collagen, inside and out, and try your hardest. You can't replace me. Don't push me, or when I'm bored, I'll stop your contract renewal for fun. Her husband spent at least 200 million on the radio station, and that evening, she met her mother's new boyfriend. She planned to use his status as a police officer to continue investigating Moon Dong-eun. Meanwhile, Moon Dong-eun, through my friend, I found out that Sun Myung-oh didn't leave the country. Maybe he was simply eliminated. Sun Myung-oh must have been taken care of. Well, memory cards are consumables anyway. So she recalculated and wanted to directly use her trump card. That card is Yeon-jin's husband, who is worth over 100 million. Since her repeated encounters with Moon Dong-eun some time ago, the man constantly thought of her face. Meanwhile, Sarah, due to the sudden disappearance of Minggu, was suffering excruciatingly from withdrawal. Late at night, Yeon-jin's husband received a photo sent by Sun Myung-oh. It was a picture of him and Moon Dong-eun at a convenience store. He immediately called him using the number on the business card, but the other party didn't answer. So he found the man's master, John Jae-jun. He wanted to find out Sun Myung-woo's whereabouts from him. But at this time, John Jae-jun didn't take him seriously at all. He had recently received a toothbrush secretly sent by Moon Dong-eun. He had a paternity test done. He learned that Yeon-jin's daughter was actually his own flesh and blood. Meanwhile, Ju Yeo-jong. Because I really like Moon Dong-eun so much, I even quit my hospital job for her and want to open a small clinic where Moon Dong-eun is. Seeing this man's sincerity, Moon Dong-eun told him about the bullying she suffered all these years, and revealed her future revenge plan. Ju Yeo-jong, however, hoped that Moon Dong-eun would let go of her hatred after learning about it. But how could Moon Dong-eun easily give up the pain she suffered? He directly took off his clothes, revealing the wounds she had tried so hard to hide all these years, one by one, before the man she loved. These are all done by those bastards? I have no dignity left, I'm a ruined wreck. So you should go back. I'll be the executioner. I'll do a sword dance. Among those few, which one should I kill first? A man came to his daughter's parent-teacher meeting, but he didn't expect his daughter to be greeting his wife's friend. Normally, there's nothing wrong with that. But a few days ago, an unintentional action by his wife made this cautious man suspicious. He suspected his wife was having an affair with this man. The man, still clueless, came running over. He said some nonsensical things. Actually, I have an illegitimate son. The husband didn't want to pay him any attention. But the man added, I've even seen parts of your wife, parts she shouldn't let anyone see. This made the husband instantly feel a surge of jealousy. At this moment, the homeroom teacher walked in. The husband then realized she was the woman he'd been encountering lately. It turned out this was all Moon Dong-eun's plan. She deliberately approached Park Yeon-jin's husband. Her aim was to reveal all of Park Yeon-jin's crimes to him. Then she told John Jong-jun that the girl was his own flesh and blood, pushing him, already impulsive. I can't wait to expose Park Hyun-jin's secret. Looking at my adorable daughter, I can only watch her call me uncle instead of dad. The man felt indescribable emotions. From today on, I will protect you. After consulting a lawyer, he learned that if he and his wife didn't divorce, he wouldn't be able to get his biological daughter back. Meanwhile, Hyun-jin, upon learning that Young-jun actually met with her husband, immediately, in anger, found the man. Why did you meet my husband? Don't you have anything to say to me? Who said they wanted to meet first? You or my husband? The man was furious. He asked the woman if she had postpartum. I only just discovered that Johnny is my child. Since you know she's my child, why did you continue your marriage? How dare you let my daughter become Ha Do-young's daughter? The woman struggles to break free from the man's constraints. I can't be on camera tomorrow. But unexpectedly, the next second, the man leaned in and kissed her. The woman who had almost been strangled just moments ago. She even took the initiative to meet him. I have to say, they're a truly ill-fated couple. On the other hand, Sarah, under pressure from Moon Dong-eun's threat, obediently prepared a sack full of US dollars. May you go to heaven when you die. On the other side, Hyun, after years as a flight attendant, finally hooked a wealthy man. I thought I could get married smoothly. But I didn't expect my future mother-in-law to ask me for a physical examination report. It made even a woman with countless male partners feel a little uneasy. Luckily, I finally got the report. But then my mother-in-law said she needed me to provide a corrected asset statement. Just then, she saw Moon Dong-eun. Hyun was stunned when she saw her. The old woman had been trying her best to make Moon Dong-eun her daughter-in-law. But unexpectedly, she was rejected by Moon Dong-eun. This gave Hyun a chance. Looking at Moon Dong-eun's departing back and then at her unsatisfactory prospective daughter-in-law, the mother-in-law's eyes were full of disdain. But why didn't you say goodbye? Teacher Win is so happy to see you. Hyun could only explain that she and Moon Dong-eun were high school classmates. She caught up with Moon Dong-eun, saying that running into each other like this was too much of a coincidence. She wanted to talk to her in detail. The two walked around the corner. Seeing no one around, Hyun suddenly knelt down. It's really all my fault. But Moon Dong-eun said, let me show you the difference between making a mistake and committing a crime. She turned and pulled a burning hot stick from the fire. Then she jabbed it towards her face. The woman screamed and stumbled backward in terror. Are you crazy? I'm a flight attendant. Moon Dong-eun told her that this behavior is pure evil. Knowing the consequences, you did it anyway. You deliberately hurt others. That's what you did to me every day. The woman slowly got up from the ground. She repeatedly begged Moon Dong-eun for forgiveness. Please, can you just forgive me this once? Please don't tell my mother-in-law. No, please, just don't contact her. I'm begging you, just until after I get married, okay? I've already applied for retirement. If this marriage falls through, I'll have no income. I'm doomed. Please, Moon Dong-eun. Moon Dong-eun remained unmoved. She showed no sign of letting herself off the hook, and she wore that same annoying smirk again. So? What do you want? What do you want, you bitch? Moon Dong-eun asks if she had lost her phone before. She takes her phone out of her bag and throws it on the ground. The woman is stunned. Turns out, all the indecent photos inside were backed up by Moon Dong-eun. Moon Dong-eun told her to use her brain before speaking. If you don't want your mother-in-law to know what you've done, then from now on, you'll listen to me. If I tell you to go east, you dare try going west. From today until the day I die, I'm sticking with you, Moon Dong-eun. What do you want me to do first? Moon Dong-eun said to report Sun Myung-o's disappearance to the police first. Meanwhile, Hyun-jin's husband tried to thoroughly understand his wife's high school past, and asked Hyun for information. To be exact, I want to know the relationship between Hyun-jin and Moon Dong-eun. Because Choi Hyun only listens to Moon Dong-eun now. She didn't hide anything. We were all high school classmates. In high school, Yeonjin bullied Moon Dong-eun. The man also learns that Moon Dong-eun isn't the only one who was bullied by his wife. These stark truths send chills down his spine. Later, the man comes to the park. He intended to find Moon Dong-eun here, but unexpectedly sees Ju Yeojong instead. So the two of them played a game of go together. During the game, Yeojong tells him that she's helping someone take revenge. Taking revenge in South Korea shouldn't be easy. After returning, Yeojong asked Moon Dong-eun if the man had contacted her. After receiving a negative answer, Yeojong said that Yeonjin's husband was an extremely cautious person. He doesn't like relinquishing control to others. It's estimated that after he finishes his company business, he will contact you immediately. The husband, returning home, questioned his wife about her relationship with the homeroom teacher, Moon Dong-eun, asking if they were just friends. Hearing her husband's question, the woman knew he must have discovered something. She decided to stop pretending. You said you married me because I'm pretty. Or was it because of our matching social status? Why are you concerned with these insignificant details from the past now? Why are you bringing unpleasantness into our lives? So don't open boxes you shouldn't open. I love you, husband. And our male lead, Ju Yeojong, also has a heartbreaking past. My own father was an excellent surgeon, yet he was cruelly and mercilessly murdered by a patient. But the serial killer, over the years in prison, not only hasn't repented, but also continuously wrote evil letters to Yeojong. Yeojong was also tormented by him and developed a mental illness, having to listen to the sound of effervescent tablets every night to fall asleep. A seed of revenge had already been planted in her heart. Meanwhile, Yeonjin, almost driven mad by Moon Dong-eun, finally found out Moon Dong-eun's home address. But what she never expected was, the woman was actually living across the street from her own large villa, and she was watching her every move every day. Meanwhile, her husband was meeting Moon Dong-eun in the park. After a series of inquiries, the husband finally discovered that Moon Dong-eun was deliberately approaching him. But instead of being angry, he felt pity for the woman who had suffered so much. Yeonjin bribed the locksmith with $1,000,000 to illegally unlock Moon Dong-eun's door. She forced $1,000,000 into the young man's hand to get him to illegally unlock the door for her. But the moment he went inside, a chill ran down her spine, because the walls were covered with pictures of herself and the bullying group. I was wrong. I shouldn't have ostracized her back then. I should have killed her long ago. Suddenly, she heard footsteps behind her. She thought it was Moon Dong-eun returning, but when she turned around, she saw her husband. Seeing Yeonjin, she asked him why he followed. Are you in cahoots with Moon Dong-eun, too? After hearing Yeonjin's words, Ha Do-young replied, I'm just curious about you. There are so many photos of you in this room. I thought you were the main character here. Before Yeonjin could speak, Ha Do-young continued to press her. He asked Yeonjin, have you ever cruelly bullied others in the past? Verbal abuse or even physical violence? Saying I bullied her is her claim. We just weren't a good match. After Yeonjin left, Ha Do-young looked at the photos on the wall. One of them caught his eye. It was a photo of his daughter with John Jae-joon. Meanwhile, Sarah told John Jae-joon that she had been summoned by the police. It was about Sun Myung-o's disappearance. It had become a drug case. So the police need Sarah's cooperation in the investigation. It's not just her being investigated. The police also visited John Jae-joon. Faced with the police's questioning, John Jae-joon stated that he didn't know anything. But when the police asked whether Sun Myung-o had contacted anyone, John Jae-joon she handed over Ha Do-young's name tag. The next day, inside Yeonjin's company, Moon Dong-eun found Yeonjin because of the incident where her door was forced open last night. She found Yeonjin. Yeonjin's attitude remained arrogant when she faced Moon Dong-eun again. Moon Dong-eun's purpose in seeing Yeonjin was clear. She produced evidence of Yeonjin's past crime. She wanted to use this to force Yeonjin to confess. This was also Moon Dong-eun's last chance for him. For Yeonjin, Moon Dong-eun's actions were nothing short of an insult to her. She not only rejected Moon Dong-eun but also made Moon Dong-eun thank her. In Yeonjin's eyes, it was her bullying that motivated Moon Dong-eun to become a teacher. Seeing Yeonjin's attitude, Moon Dong-eun smiled. Because Moon Dong-eun knew beforehand that Yeonjin would never willingly surrender herself, she came here only to see Yeonjin's attitude, so that she would have no guilt in her subsequent revenge. That evening, Ha Do-young learned that Sun Myung-o had gone missing. At that time, a subordinate also delivered a USB drive. Through the USB drive, Ha Do-young understood the relationship between Yeonjin and John Jae-joon. He looked at the photo of John Jae-joon and his daughter. Then he looked at the uniformly colored clothes in the locker room. Ha Do-young understood. The daughter he had painstakingly raised was not his at all, because their previous residence was exposed. Moon Dong-eun was invited to stay at Ju Yeo-jong's house. Ju Yeo-jong's warm hospitality stirred Moon Dong-eun's heart. Their relationship gradually warmed. To help Moon Dong-eun take revenge, Ju Yeo-jong sought out his mother. He told his mother that he liked Moon Dong-eun and wanted to help her take revenge. Looking at her own son, a pervert who had killed her husband, the mother chose to support him. But she had a condition. He had to be careful and not get caught. After receiving his mother's support, Ju Yeo-jong went to the morgue where So-hee's body was kept. But So-hee wasn't there. Later, he learned that the hospital director was Ju Yeo-jong's father, and for some reason, had long ago moved Soo-sik to the cryogenic storage. The records stated that she was kept in the morgue, a cover story for outsiders. Since being threatened by Moon Dong-eun again, Yeon-jin has been restless. She found John and June and the others. She hoped to discuss countermeasures, but they all said that the evidence had nothing to do with them. Seeing their faces, Yeon-jin smiled, but Yeon-jin didn't let her guard down. He feared the truth about Soo-hee would be revealed, so he found his uncle, who had handled the sushi case, confirm whether the name tag was destroyed at that time. My uncle replied that after the young Moon Dong-eun reported it, he took out the name tag and gave it to your mother. Your mother immediately destroyed the evidence. Upon hearing my uncle say this, Yeon-jin felt relieved. But unbeknownst to Yeon-jin, her mother hadn't destroyed the designer bag at all. Having moved into Ju Yeo-jong's house, Moon Dong-eun planned to return to her old residence to collect her belongings. But as she was about to leave, she suddenly realized she'd overlooked something. One person's photo was missing from among the many, and this photo was now in Yeon-jin's hands. And Yeon-jin also found the person who had been helping Moon Dong-eun. What's wrong? Get out of the car, sister-in-law. You seem to have mistaken me for someone else. I haven't. Stop acting. Get out of the car. After Yeon-jin got the photo of the Ajuma's husband, she asked her uncle at the police station for help. He found 2 cars registered under Moon Dong-eun's name. From the information of one of the cars, he found because Moon Dong-eun's main target for revenge is the woman in front of her, so the Ajuma knows why she came here. So she threatened me, used Yeon-jin. To ensure the older woman's cooperation in the future, Yeon-jin revealed all the information about her eldest daughter. Not only this moment, the woman no longer cared about Moon Dong-eun, and Moon Dong-eun never saw the woman again. No matter how many times she called, she only got a switched-off message. The next day, at school, Moon Dong-eun called Choi Hyun. She needed Choi Hyun's help with something. That is, to lure up. Moon Dong-eun received a message from a colleague. When she arrived at the parking lot, a woman she least wanted to see appeared before her. After Yeon-jin's visit last night, she found Yeon-jin. You've already found 2 straighteners to deal with me. Choi Hyun, instructed by Moon Dong-eun, led Yeon-jin to the plastic surgery clinic. At the hospital, in front of Ju Yeo-jong, Choi Hyun told Moon Dong-eun and Ha Do-young's chess game. She also said that the bag she was holding was bought by your husband for her. After hearing what Choi Hyun said, Yeon-jin was furious. Before leaving, Ju Yeo-jong told her, if it rains and you don't have an umbrella, you can come here to fill up on something. That night, Da finally appeared before Moon Dong-eun. It turned out that Moon Dong-eun had planned everything. When Moon Dong-eun discovered a missing photograph, she notified the older woman. After learning about it, the older woman also took out another phone camera, a slip of the tongue, in advance and turned it off. As for what she said to Yeon-jin, it was all just an act, as for her previous attitude. Before, Ha Do-young might have forgiven her. But now, Ha Do-young already knows most of what happened. She can't give Yeon-jin another chance. I don't. Honestly, none. Ha Do-young alone thought about the recent events. Thinking about it, Ha Do-young understood that Moon Dong-eun had known all along. All of this was Moon Dong-eun's plan. So Ha Do-young arranged a meeting with Moon Dong-eun. In the elevator, Ha Do-young said, I already know about your relationship with him. Someone could die. What did you do to Sun My? The effects of the medication, coupled with the threat of Zhou-Ru's disease, Yeon-jin revealed the truth. It turned out that after Sun Myung-oh saw Yeon-jin again, she threatened Young-oh down. After Yeon-jin accidentally kills Sun Myung-oh, She seeks help from her uncle at the police station. First, Sun Myung-o's phone was thrown into the sea. Sun Myung-o himself was sent to the funeral home. Before processing the body, to ensure the investigation wouldn't reach Yeonjin, she ordered her subordinates to completely clean all traces of Sun Myung-o's hands. But when the subordinate asked whether they should bury him, the man said to bury him on a rainy day, so the evidence would be contaminated. But it was precisely because of this. You're awake, Miss Park Yeonjin. Yeonjin, waking up in the hospital bed, couldn't distinguish whether what had just happened was reality or a hallucination. She hurriedly left the hospital and returned home. She wasn't sure if she had revealed anything. After seeing all the wounds on Moon Dong-eun's body, Moon Dong-eun told Ha Do-young about her past. Moon Dong-eun thought Ha Do-young would leave Yeonjin, but unexpectedly, Do-young said, "I won't leave Yeonjin." How should I say this? I don't like saying I don't know. But I really don't know. I only just realized I don't want to leave Yeonjin. Ha Do-young's attitude surprised Moon Dong-eun. Back home, Ha Do-young faced Yeonjin again. Yeonjin asked why she was contacting Moon Dong-eun. Ha Do-young replied, "I'm curious about her. So I started waiting for her. When I saw her again, I wanted to beat her. But I was struggling, at a loss for what to do because she had taken the initiative. Even so, I still hoped for that moment. That moment when playing Go, I felt like I was suffocating. So I don't ask about your relationship with John Jae-jun, do I? Currently, only Ju Yeo-jung knows the truth about Sun Myung-o. Only Ju Yeo-jung. And the others will gradually uncover the truth. Choi Hyun discovered Yeonjin on the tablet. Audio recording of the conversation with Sun Myung-o. Jun is investigating Sun Myung-o. He went to his own shop to check the security footage, but the data in the surveillance system was lost due to a previous system reinstall, so only the recent footage remained. To recover the data, Jun specifically went to a repair shop for data restoration, as several people began to work. Whether Sun Myung-o's death becomes public knowledge to eliminate a major concern. Moon Dong-eun sent her eldest daughter abroad, but just as she was about to leave for the airport, she was stopped by Yeonjin. Yeonjin knew Dong-eun's daughter was leaving the country today, so she came here to threaten Dong-eun with her daughter's safety. Because Choi Hyun is a flight attendant, when Yeonjin said she wanted Choi Hyun to be her daughter, the woman didn't suspect a thing. She knelt and begged Yeonjin to spare her, but Yeonjin asked Moon Dong-eun, "Besides you, who else is helping you?" The woman answered, "Moon Dong-eun has a man." I'm not sure about that either. Afterwards, she also asked De to help her track Sarah and June. Yeonjin wanted to keep tabs on everyone. Before leaving, Yeonjin also told De, "Your husband will be back today. This is a lesson for you." Soon, De's husband returned home. He committed domestic violence against De again. The next day, Moon Dong-eun accompanied Ju Yeo-jung and bought the abandoned funeral home where Sun Myung-o's remains were kept. While waiting for Ju Yeo-jung, Moon Dong-eun told her about her eldest daughter's safe and well-being. After hearing this, the woman finally felt relieved. And just then, the aunt's husband rushed back. It seemed she had planned it all along. She took out the backpack containing the phone in front of the man. Then she deliberately let the man discover it. After the man discovered it, the aunt explained that the money was given by a woman. That woman asked her to send a text message. After the man learned about this, he wanted to make money. She sent the text message to Yeonjin's mother as requested. The message read, "I know your daughter killed someone." Seeing this, the woman panicked. She hurried back. Unknown to Yeonjin's mother and the man, Moon Dong-eun followed behind them. That night, the police arrived at the funeral home. She had the worker dispose of Sun Myung-o's body. After the police left, the laborer didn't move. At the same time, because Ju Yeo-jung already knew about Sun Myung-o, Moon Dong-eun asked why she had kept it from her. Listening to Moon Dong-eun's questioning, Ju Yeo-jung replied that someone who only uses chopsticks wouldn't question the emperor's decree. "What's the reason? Tell me what you need, and I'll do it for you. Whether you need a body or evidence destroyed. Hasn't anyone told you you're crazy? I want to be crazy. Just let me be." The two drive towards the funeral home. On the way, they narrowly miss a police car. When they arrive at the funeral home, it's the previous assistant who greets them. In the previous large-scale investigation, a major discovery was made. Investigator Officer Yun-jin frequently visited a funeral home. Logically, an abandoned funeral home shouldn't use much electricity. But the morgue here inexplicably had unusually high electricity consumption. This is why Moon Dong-eun's suspect Sun Myung-oh is being kept here. After Ju Yeo-jung bought this place, they discovered Sun Myung-oh's body, which the workers hadn't had time to process yet. Luring Yun-jin to Ju Yeo-jung's beauty salon was because Ju Yeo-jung wanted to use Yun-jin's foot wound to collect his skin tissue information to match the evidence found on Sun Myung-oh's body. After being threatened by Yun-jin, General Ju Yeo-jung's information was given to Yun-jin. He said Ju Yeo-jung is Moon Dong-eun's accomplice, and she's extremely wealthy. Hearing Ju Yeo-jung's name, Yun-jin remembered the surgeon who performed her plastic surgery a few days ago. In the evening, Yun-jin, he purposely came to the hospital entrance where Ju Yeo-jung's mother was. There, he saw So-hee, but she disappeared in an instant. Meanwhile, Moon Dong-eun planned to target John Jae-jun. He told John Jae-jun about the long-haired male teacher's perverted behavior in his class, because the long-haired male teacher often secretly filmed children. This includes John Jae-jun's daughter. Hearing that his daughter was secretly filmed, John Jae-jun flew into a rage. He rushed to the school like a madman and beat up the long-haired boy in front of all the teachers. Otherwise, your teeth will be swallowed. Let me tell you now, I won't settle this. You son of a bitch. The scene of John Jae-jun beating someone up, all of this was witnessed by her own daughter. Whether Moon Dong-eun did this on purpose remains unknown. Because he assaulted a teacher, John Jae-jun was summoned. Then Ha Do-young arrived and bailed John Jae-jun out. Ha Do-young did this because he simply felt John Jae-jun is not qualified to do these things for his daughter. He should be the one doing it. Then the two men confronted each other there. They had a showdown, and John Jae-jun even mocked Ha Do-young. Finally, the two men ended up fighting. John Jae-jun was no match for Ha Do-young and was defeated. Immediately afterward, Moon Dong-eun turned her attention to Sarah. She found some thugs and bought flour from them. He planned to expose Sarah's actions in front of everyone at Sarah's church. He intended to reveal her behavior publicly. The next day, Ju Yeo-jung's mother received a notification from the police. They were going to inspect the cold storage room. Because Yun-jin's mother had been receiving threatening text messages, unable to bear it any longer, she contacted the police officer. At the officer's behest, she sent someone to investigate. Apparently, after So-hee died, her deaf-mute mother came to the hospital and asked the doctors not to dispose of the body, because once she was buried, there would be no evidence left. To seek justice for So-hee, Ju Yeo-jung's father recklessly stored So-hee's body in a cold storage room. Today, no matter how the police investigate, Ju Yeo-jung's mother, my family doesn't agree to transferring So-hee's body to the morgue. She's willing to take full responsibility for the consequences. Yun-jin returned home and found Ha Do-young with a cut lip. But Ha Do-young didn't want to explain. But Yun-jin wouldn't let it go. So Ha Do-young said, "Your lover went to my daughter's school and caused a scene. He claimed to be her biological father, so I got angry. Try refuting me. You're very curious whether I know if Ilu is my daughter, right? You don't understand all the mindset I had to endure with. I, at least, tried my best to preserve our marriage. That's why I hid the truth. You're the one who blew everything up and ruined it. So, what did you ultimately manage to protect? Your relationship with me, your relationship with Yerim, and your career. You didn't manage to protect a single thing." Although she suspected that Do-young might know, hearing those words directly from him, Yun-jin still broke down. Immediately after, Moon Dong-eun also had an incident because of her mother. Because Moon Dong-eun's mother accepted gifts from parents in her name, this also affected Moon Dong-eun's career. When Moon Dong-eun found her mother, not only did her mother refuse to listen, she also scratched Moon Dong-eun. "You coming to see me is one thing. I can even understand your shamelessness, but you shouldn't side with the people who ruined your daughter's life. How could you abandon me like this again? You, mad woman." Thinking about her mother's actions, Moon Dong-eun wept uncontrollably in the car. And what will Ju Yeo-jung do now that she knows Moon Dong-eun has been wronged? What will Ju Yeojong do after learning about Moon Dong-eun's suffering? The next day, Moon Dong-eun went to Sarah's church. She lured Sarah to the place where she'd laid out the flower. Seeing the flower, Sarah couldn't resist. While Sarah was hallucinating after inhaling it, Moon Dong-eun sent this scene to everyone present. When everyone arrived, Sarah's state was immediately exposed. Before this, Auntie told Yeonjin that Moon Dong-eun was going to the church. So Yeonjin also rushed there. When Yeonjin saw what Moon Dong-eun was doing, she thought Moon Dong-eun was being childish. Because Sarah was a first-time offender, nothing would happen to her. But Moon Dong-eun said at that moment, "You can't let me and Sarah fall. Then try holding on tight so you don't fall." A certain weather anchor woman. It turns out, Moon Dong-eun reported Yeonjin's school bullying online. She posted it online. A flood of public opinion followed. How will Yeonjin deal with Moon Dong-eun's move this time? Can she successfully weather this storm? Sarah could be released soon, but you can't. After Yeonjin's school bullying incident was exposed, public opinion was overwhelming. With nowhere to turn, Yeonjin hid with the fortune teller. In the end, Do-young found her. It wasn't just Yeonjin who was in trouble. Sarah was also called to the police station for questioning. During the investigation, Sarah's answer made those at the police station think he wasn't a first-time offender. Those who initially harmed Moon Dong-eun are gradually falling one by one. When John Jae-joon went to the repair shop again to retrieve the hard drive, he was told it had been switched. Because it was a new hard drive that was later replaced, there was no data to recover. As Yeonjin's scandals were exposed one after another, Moon Dong-eun also found Yeonjin's assistant, Kyung-ran. It turned out Kyung-ran was also one of the victims. Since Moon Dong-eun dropped out of school, Kyung-ran became their target of bullying. All these years, Kyung-ran has been hiding by Yeonjin's side. Moon Dong-eun knew her identity from the beginning. And Kyung-ran also discovered Moon Dong-eun's identity. This time, Moon Dong-eun found her just to remind Kyung-ran, "Don't do anything. Because the person who killed Sun Myung-oh must be Yeonjin." Evening. Yeonjin's mother returned home and saw the aunt's husband. And the aunt's husband sent another text message. The text message said, "I know your daughter killed more than one person." This torment made Yeonjin. The real mother's heart grew increasingly frantic. So she called Yeonjin. Yeonjin hung up immediately after seeing the incoming call. The reporters waiting nearby for gossip made Yeonjin flustered. Then Yeonjin inquired about Dae Choi's recent activities. The woman said that the two had been living together recently. After receiving this important information, Yeonjin found Choi Hyun. Hyun, who already disliked Yeonjin. Seeing it was Yeonjin, Choi Hyun stated that she was already dating John Jae-joon. Faced with Choi Hyun's provocation, Yeonjin ignored her, instead asking her why she had lured her to Ju Yeojong's hospital. He didn't answer his question at all. After not getting the answer she wanted, Yeonjin left. Here, the former perpetrator was completely fragmented. Choi Hyun came to the police station and found Sarah. She told Sarah that Yeonjin, to cover up her own scandal, deliberately magnified your cocaine use, and also exposed everything about the art exhibition tax evasion. Meanwhile, Moon Dong-eun, home alone, discovered a letter written by Ju Yeojong. The letter's contents made Moon Dong-eun feel the raging beast hidden within Ju Yeojong's heart. Meanwhile, Ju Yeojong once again visited the prison. Upon seeing her father's killer, Ju Yeojong said, "When I see you next time, I'll show you the hell I've been through." After leaving prison, Ju Yeojong arranged for a handyman to find Officer Shin. Following Ju Yeojong's instructions, he deliberately told him about the funeral home being sold. Things were about to spiral out of control. Officer Shin had a plan. Yeonjin, who was planning to go to work that day, was found by the police. The police questioned her about what she did on the night of October 19th. Hearing the police ask her this, Yeonjin panicked. She quickly found Officer Shin, but Officer Shin's answer sent Yeonjin into a state of despair. Officer Shin said, "I've done so much for your family. I'm retiring soon, so I need you to give me one more payment. Why do you think I would do as you ask?" Sun Myung-oh's body. What did you say? An unidentified body was found at 71 to 1 Songhangdong, Jongnyeogu. Because of your mother, Moon Dong-eun quit her teaching job. After saying goodbye to the girls, Moon Dong-eun found her mother and asked her to leave, but instead of leaving, her mother rebuked Moon Dong-eun. Her mother's behavior finally broke Moon Dong-eun. "You still don't understand. You were the first one to hurt me. Don't laugh like that. Let's just burn to death together today. You little brat." "Thank you, Mom. Thank you for not changing at all. Thank you for always being the same. Thank you so much." To successfully extort Yeonjin one last time, Officer Shin brought Yeonjin to the funeral home where Sun Myung-o's body was kept, but his body was gone. It had been moved outside by someone else. With Sun Myung-o's body appearing, the news quickly picked up the story. The next day, Ju Yeojong came looking for Moon Dong-eun, but the place had been completely burned down. Then, he learned everything through surveillance. To compensate the landlord, Ju Yeojong specifically brought better quality flooring for the landlord to choose from. But the landlord said at that moment that compensation wasn't necessary, because Moon Dong-eun is my lifesaver. The landlord's words seemed to imply something. Meanwhile, Moon Dong-eun, to get away from her mother, personally committed her mother to a psychiatric hospital. "Only I can do this, Mom." Yeonjin didn't expect was that Jeon Jae-joon was merely acting, thinking about Sun Myung-o's matter. It could very well affect his own daughter. So Kwon Junwoo met with Ha Do-young. He took out the recording of Ha Do-young's phone call with Sun Myung-o and used it to blackmail him. He wanted Shin was about to run away. Shin, the person who was run over, was the older woman's husband. A few hours earlier, Yeonjin's mother, together with the shaman, lured the older woman's husband out under the pretense of a deal, and ran him over while he was crossing the road, killing him. Now that a life has been lost, Officer Shin can no longer escape. On the very night of the accident, the shaman, preparing to go home, encountered Moon Dong-eun, who had been waiting. Moon Dong-eun revealed everything he had done, right in front of her. Yeonjin was enraged, so she lost the charm on her bag. So Yeonjin only appeared here now. Ju Yeojong appeared during the search. The next day, Moon Dong-eun found the police again. He told the police that a lighter was found at the scene when So-hee died in the winter of 2004. A lighter was found at the scene. The lighter should have DNA on it. She hopes the police will investigate thoroughly. Then Yeonjin went to the police station and found her mother. Afterwards, the two went to the fortune tellers. What happened next? Yeonjin actually heard So-hee talking to her. "Do you want me to take off this dress?" Remembered the day So-hee died, because So-hee was wearing the same clothes as her. She ordered So-hee to take them off, but So-hee refused. Yeonjin then lit So-hee's clothes. Yen, snapping back to reality, discovered Moon Dong-eun standing before her. The shaman, during her ritual, claimed to have seen So-hee, and then died of fright. Seeing the shaman's dead body, Yeonjin ran out in terror. Leaving the shaman's place, Yeonjin found Ha Do-young, but before she could say anything, she then saw Ha Do-young upstairs. Ha Do-young then gave Yeonjin two choices: either confess and realized, "I don't know who uploaded the video of their childhood bullying." Yeonjin didn't know it was Sarah who uploaded it, because Yeonjin used Sarah's past to cover up her own. Sarah did this to get revenge on Yeonjin. Because of this, Yeonjin had to resign. As things stand now, Yeonjin has become a pariah. Not only did her friends abandon her, even her daughter rejected her. Did you press hot things against them? She asked me if I would bully her like you did. You're finally standing in ruins, Park Yeonjin. It must be desolate. Pitch black. Facing the media, Yeonjin revealed the truth about the past bullying, but she used the excuse of being young and naive. The matter of So-hee's death, Yeonjin said she and So-hee were very good friends. So-hee was pregnant at the time, so she chose to commit suicide. At Sun Myung-o's funeral, several people except Sarah received videos separately of what happened between Sarah and Sun Myung-o. No matter how Sarah explained, Choi Hyun didn't believe her. Even Choi Hyun doesn't believe it. At this moment, Yeonjin walked in. Seeing it was Yeonjin, Sarah concluded that Yeonjin was the one who posted the video. So she stepped forward and grabbed Yeonjin's hair. Meanwhile, Choi Hyun stepped forward. Choi Hyun stepped forward and said this. Look at you two, revealing your friend's video. Someone else revealed the deceased's pregnancy to cover up the video. You are so incredibly noble. What did she reveal? So it was you. Choi Hyun's words sent the already unstable Sarah into a rage. A woman who enjoys the suffering of others like you must face judgment. After leaving the funeral, Jeon Jae-jun met with Yeonjin. Accompanying Jeon Jae-jun was Ha Do-young's mother. Then, Jeon Jae-jun revealed the child's identity in front of the woman. As her revenge neared completion, Moon Dong-eun found a moment of warmth and care. Then, Moon Dong-eun said, from now on, I won't give you any more assignments. You can live the life you want now. There are eggs in that bag, right? Eating the eggs they gave her, Moon Dong-eun recalled a scene where she had met the landlord before. She met the landlord when Moon Dong-eun was a child. Back then, the landlord worked at a laundromat with her. It was then that Moon Dong-eun saved the landlord. As Moon Dong-eun's revenge nears completion, Ju Hyo-jung once again finds her father's killer. This time, the killer reveals the truth. Just before the surgery, everyone shuns her as a murderer. But Ju Hyo-jung's father did not. Yet, right before the surgery, Ju Hyo-jung's father instructs another doctor to tell Ju Hyo-jung, don't wait for her for dinner tonight. It makes men think. Ju Hyo-jung's father was actually concerned about others while performing surgery on himself. That's why she murdered Ju Hyo-jung's father. Her purpose was to see how the man she instructed would react. Upon learning that the man murdered her own father, such absurdity, Ju Hyo-jung could no longer hold back her tears. Due to Moon Dong-eun's earlier threat, Yeonjin's mother gave her name tag to her. Yeonjin's mother clearly chose self-preservation, abandoning Yeonjin. And as the two were talking, Moon Dong-eun called Yeonjin over again. She wanted Yeonjin to see with her own eyes how her own mother abandoned her. Your mother betrayed you to save herself. Family are the greatest perpetrators. You bitch. Here, Yeonjin. This belongs here anyway. I was just curious. To what extent will Park Yeonjin be abandoned? Now I know the answer. We both know now. On the way back, Moon Dong-eun received a call that Sohee's mother had collapsed. But when she arrived at the hospital, she learned Sohee's mother's guardian is actually Ju Hyo-jung. Did you know all along? You knew. Did I approach you on purpose? The two had a frank conversation at the hospital. Ju Hyo-jung said she noticed him from the beginning. Every encounter after that was not accidental. While Moon Dong-eun said, I only discovered after my own investigation that you were suitable to be used. That's why I approached you. Choi Hyun, stabbed by Sarah, didn't die. Because her vocal cords were injured, she could no longer speak normally. Moon Dong-eun found her and asked if she wanted revenge on Jeon Jae-jun, and Jeon Jae-jun would never see the light again. To think that I've become like this. Choi Hyun switched the items, using the excuse of packing things up. Officer Shin was beaten to death by his own two subordinates. It was because they accidentally saw the money in the safe. Yeonjin is about to go crazy. Not only that, she also received a video. The video shows the exact location where Sun Myung-oh died. But when Yeonjin arrived, the police had already been waiting there. Yeonjin was also imprisoned for murder. The next day, Jeon Jae-jun went to the kindergarten to look for his daughter. But this was inside the school. Others told him that his daughter had already transferred schools. Then Moon Dong-eun called him. Based on the information Moon Dong-eun provided, Jeon Jae-jun drove to. On the road, Jeon Jun felt his eyes were not right. After he put in eye drops, the pain was even worse, and he couldn't open his eyes. Then he had a car accident. Finally, he, however, went to England with his daughter. After taking care of everything, Moon Dong-eun and Ju Hyo-jung drove to the beach. But then, Ju Hyo-jung received news that Moon Dong-eun had left. No matter how hard Ju Yeojong searched, there was no word from Moon Dong-eun. But Moon Dong-eun is visiting Yeonjin in prison at this moment. She told Yeonjin that you were actually wrongly accused, because Sun Myung-oh wasn't actually dead at the time. Sun Myung-oh knew about Jaeyoung-ran's existence, so he begged Jaeyoung-ran to save him. Jaeyoung-ran thought back to Sun Myung-oh's past bullying of her, so she picked up a bottle and ended his life. After that, Jaeyoung-ran told Moon Dong-eun about it, and Moon Dong-eun also assured him that Yeonjin would be the one to kill Sun Myung-oh. Yeonjin heard himself being framed. He wanted to know what was going on, but Moon Dong-eun didn't tell him. For Yeonjin, Moon Dong-eun's habit of speaking only half the truth was more painful than killing him. In the days to come, around 30 degrees. So it's recommended to dress lightly. And be sure to drink plenty of fluids. After leaving prison, Moon Dong-eun planned to end her life. Ju Yeojong's mother decided to help Ju Yeojong get revenge. She first found the powerful mother-in-law. She asked the mother-in-law to help kill Ju Yeojong's father's killer. The man who killed Ju Yeojong's father was transferred to prison. Moon Dong-eun